Oh, hello, my friend Kristen.
Hello, Laura.
How are you this fine evening?
I'm
Oh, my good. Well, listen, I want to say, Kristen, we should tell them that the people have spoken.
Yes.
The people have spoken.
Yes.
So thank you for your feedback. So basically what we've been hearing is that you guys are into the podcast. We thank you so much for listening.
Yes.
But we want to just make it crisper, a little shorter for you guys, right? A little bit more so you can just be riding to work.
Yep.
You got 20 minutes, 25 minutes, boom. So we're going to shorten things up. We're going to split it up, and we're going to hope that gets you guys from beginning to end, no matter what your car trips are, right?
Yes.
Or wherever you are. We all have 20 minutes, right? In
Oh,
the
yeah.
kitchen, cooking dinner, something like that. So we're going to experiment with that. So having said that, Kristen, open up that fan.
Oh.
Kristen is holding a big old fan. I mean, I think you could be naked behind that thing. That would cover your body.
I mean, this thing is huge.
So for our YouTube watchers and for our listeners, Kristen's holding a big old fan that says, and it's big and it's old. It's not old, it's new. And it says all day, all night. Because Kristen, tell our listeners where you were this weekend.
So Saturday, I went to a drag brunch hosted by the one and only Teresa Giudice.
Giudice. Miss Tree Hugger. You were a tree hugger this weekend.
I was a tree hugger on steroids.
Tree.
Yes.
Tell them what happened. You met. Come on, talk to me.
So I,
We haven't even
went
spoken.
with Dan, my husband, and I dragged him with me to the drag brunch.
You did?
Yes, I did. So
I know you
got the
did.
tickets, and it was in the city. It was at HK Hall in the city, West 48th Street.
So
Very
is
exciting.
that like on the 11th? Is that like right
Yeah,
close
it's
to the-
right by the West Side Highway.
So I would imagine there's
it
a
was
lot
very
of-
easy to drive to.
There's a lot of dead bodies probably coming
yeah.
from Jersey.
A little crazy.
When it came across the river. So, you know, it was all Jersey influence. So, all right.
yes.
So you got there. What happened? The first thing
It was really exciting, actually.
But the first thing you told me was that,
Yeah.
which surprises me, is that you could have just, nobody was kind of there. You could have just ran up to tree and,
So you walk in
you could have
again.
been
This
a
is
knife-wielding Lizzie Borden and just gone right up there.
I could have had a machete on me.
Oh,
I mean, it was
no.
just like there wasn't a lot of security at all. It was like you walked in, somebody was sitting there saying, "Do you have your ticket?" I mean, we showed them the ticket. I
Was it
said,
like at a
I got the meet and greet because I bought the meet and greet package.
But you really didn't have to buy the meet and greet because you said there was nobody there. You could have just been like, all right, I'm going up.
So the way it worked was that you walk in and, there's like the little hallway there. And then there's where the event is, right? Where the brunch is. It's like right in front of you through the doors. And then on the right, there was stairs to walk upstairs. She was upstairs.
She was right there. Tree.
I could have walked in
all
I
her
swear, and
glory.
just walked up the stairs. It was like nobody was paying attention
It's
to
so
anything.
fascinating. So it's kind of a little bit of the Wild West, like
It
I was
was
saying.
a little bit unsecured, a little
Right,
bit of the
like-
Wild West. It was just like, like anyone could
But
have
that's
walked
what I mean,
in.
the Wild Wild West. You just go in and be like, Trey, what's up? I'm here.
But I didn't, Dan and I didn't know anything. So we walked in.
That's
There was a
Kristen's
girl
husband.
there. Like, I went over. I go, oh, we're going to the drag brunch. And she said, okay. I gave her the ticket. She scanned them. And then she goes, I go, yeah. I have the meet and greet. And she was like, oh, okay, just walk upstairs.
Rock and roll.
All
All
right.
right. So tell us about the big moment you met.
So went
Tree.
upstairs. There was a bit of a line because, of course, everybody wants to meet Miss Teresa. But it wasn't long online, and then I met her.
If you want to go to Littler Podcast, LITLR Podcast, you'll see all the videos posted of the big moment when Kristen met Tree.
I met Trey.
Tree hugger.
Went over to her. She was so sweet. I mean, there were so many people online. It wasn't like I had time to talk to her. I had to get it in real fast what I was going to say to her. So
Who's
I figured
moving the crowd along? The photographer?
nobody was moving the.
That's
what
what's
I'm
even
saying.
more fascinating. There's
There
like
was
nobody around.
There was a photographer there who was taking pictures. And that was it. I think there was a couple of people on the side. There was a bar on the side. There were bartenders on the side serving drinks.
It's like a Saturday. It's a
It was-
brunch, right?
it was
It's like a
very
Saturday and
casual.
what you got there
Yeah.
maybe noon and then there's Tree.
Yes.
I was like, can you imagine getting into all this makeup and a green feathered boa, whatever she had on,
She
some kind of
looked
green dress.
stunning.
But in the pictures, I mean, the makeup is so heavy. It looks like it's 20 pounds.
See, it's funny. In person, it didn't
Tree.
look like that at all.
Isn't that funny?
She looked. I say
think
this.
Teresa's
She
pretty.
was
She's
more beautiful.
attractive.
She was more beautiful in person.
Wow.
She really was. She was beautiful, and so I
Love,
went
love,
up. Love, love, love. So I went over to her and I said, what can I say to her in 20 seconds? Because we got to move it along.
a quickie.
I just said, I kept saying, and I said this when I asked her a Q&A downstairs too. I was like, it's such an honor to meet you.
I know,
And
I
just kept
caught
coming
that.
out of my mouth. It's such an honor. She probably thought I was a lunatic. But
No, not at all.
I just said, it's such an honor. I gave her a really quick hug. I was like, I can't believe I'm meeting you in person.
Hi. She was like, all right. It's all right. Did she smell good? Of course she smelled good.
Yeah, she did everything. She was just like a little
She was
angel.
primed.
She was primed and propped and everything.
And then you
So
asked her.
I just said, what can I say to her that's going to stand out? Because everyone's going to say the same things to her. So I did bring up that we have our podcast. I mentioned it. And then I just said, I just want to thank you for bringing the autism topic into the show.
Right.
Because
As we are autism
I have a
moms.
son who has autism. And
too.
I can tell you, you and Louie are very inspiring to the community.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you. And she said, she goes, my daughters are so good to Nicholas. And
Her daughters are sweet.
Yeah, she goes, they're very sweet to him and we love him. And I just said, well, I just really want to thank you for bringing that into the show, which I truly mean. I mean, it shows the wonderful side of Teresa.
And then later on,
Yes.
you told me that you got up again. If you go to Littler Podcast, you'll see Kristen get up and ask another question.
So
they
were doing, it was the drag brunch and they were at one point doing a Q&A. So I raised my hand and the guy came over to me, thankfully. And he did say to me, what are you going to ask? So I had to get screened on what I was going to ask.
Of course.
So at the top of my head, I said, you know what, I'm
That's
going to just
101,
ask,
baby.
like, what would she do if she doesn't return to Jersey? So that's what I asked. And I think you see it on the video that she said, well, if one door closes, another one opens.
Very political answer.
But I did tell her when I asked, I said, I'm not watching the show if you don't return. So
that's right. And then
I said,
everybody
I'm swearing
cheered.
it off.
And everyone cheered.
And everyone cheered. So it was fun. It was a really nice event. We had a great time.
You also should mention, too, that you had some great guys sitting next to you, and they helped you because Kristen
They
has
were
never.
sweethearts.
This is a little bit of a shame.
Yeah.
I have to say that you've never been to a drag brunch because I used to
It
live
was
in
my
West
first
Hollywood.
drag brunch.
I used to live in West Hollywood and always went to the drag brunches.
Okay.
And Kristen, at Hamburger Mary's, all our boys out there, shout, Chapel Roan, Pink Pony Club, the whole bit. Didn't know she needed dollar bills.
I knew nothing. And the sweetest guy sitting next to me,
Shout
he
out
was like,
to
you
the
want some
boys.
dollar bills? And he gave me some because, when the ladies
Love
were
it.
walking around the room and you had to give them the dollars for
Love
their
it.
dancing and singing.
Love it.
And one of them was from RuPaul's Drag Race. I mean, just
Big
really
time.
fabulous. So it was a lot of fun.
So and you got the fan. You got
and
a little,
I got a couple of people
you
I
got
think
a
that are going
little
to start
paw
following
and
us.
gift from
So
Tree.
thank you so much to those people. They were so sweet.
All right.
So it was a fun time.
All right. We need to discuss Real Housewives of New York because Kristen just walked in and blew my world up. She blew my world up. First of all, Bethany Frankel, we're going to talk about RHONY from last night, right? Bethany Frankel, I think it was in Us. I'm not sure. Was it Us Weekly? I don't know. But she just blasts it. Like, it's the worst show ever. The old cast needs to come back or even mix them in. Like, it's unwatchable. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So I missed that Real Housewives of New York. The whole show I'm watching, and it's this whole thing, and they're telling everybody about how
This pregnancy.
Rebecca Minkoff is pregnant, and
I was brought into it, weren't you? I was like,
kidding?
oh my God, she's a swinger and the baby isn't her husband's? I was like,
that's why. So I'm like texting Kristen, and I'm going, "Oh my God, Kristen, this is like the first good episode. Like, I can't believe what's going on."
No, I felt that way too. I said, now it's moving along.
But
Finally,
Kristen just broke the news to me. I watched the whole show and the end and did not get that it was a prank.
it was a prank.
I thought they were talking about the cockroaches from the other. From 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
And you know what's
God.
so funny? I even watch What's Happens Live with Sai, and she's talking about a prank, and I'm going, are they talking about the cockroaches? I thought maybe they were running a repeat.
Oh, God,
so
right?
this all was a freaking prank?
It was a prank. I mean, I think that's how desperate
Okay.
I think even they know this is really like moving so
let
slow.
me have my reaction.
We
Okay.
got to jazz it up, but that was not the way to jazz it
I
up.
cannot believe I am a with it gal.
It
Okay?
was so stupid.
I am with it. I am someone who gets it.
yeah.
I missed it completely. I missed the whole thing. I didn't understand anything when she said, "Was that good?" Why would that make me
Isn't
think?
that
Hold on.
sick?
Why would that make me think at the end of the episode by Erin going, wait, I'm sorry. And then she says, was that good? And then she's laughing. They didn't mention anything that it was a prank.
Nah,
It's so freaking lame.
lame.
This is the lamest,
yes.
shittiest,
Ah.
stupidest. What? And it was the whole freaking episode.
It was the whole episode. And the
Oh
ladies
my
were all like,
God.
actually, where I laughed out loud was seeing Jenna's reaction, which was so funny. When they were telling Jenna was like, what? And like, oh.
But I have to say,
Everyone was so horrified.
I do have to say that this is how fucked up this show is.
Yeah.
Because the whole time I'm going, oh my God, Erin not only told that, she told the swinger part, and she's freaking telling anybody,
Yeah.
oh my God, she's telling everybody. Everything. And of course I'm like, well, she's totally betraying her, but of course, because that's what they do.
That's what they do. Well, I was saying that. I was like, good, Erin, like drum it up,
It
was kind of funny, but I don't know. Yeah.
What is going on that show? You guys need to get it freaking together.
No, it's
as I
really,
pour myself
really
more
bad.
Chardonnay.
But what was kind of what was kind of funny too was that I think even Brynn was like, "Yeah, we got a story going here," because she was like telling people and getting all excited about it.
And the whole time I'm saying to myself,
Talk about
Brynn being the wolf in sheep's clothing.
Oh,
she is anyway.
So, yeah.
She's coming at you. She's such the pot stirrer. What did she stir in the beginning?
Really
what was she stirring in the beginning? Wasn't this? It was something else.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I can't remember what it was now,
oh yeah, right. I wrote this down.
Come on, RHONY.
Oh, I know. She was
on.
stirring the pot between Jenna and Jessel because Jenna was calling Jessel
basic bitch.
A basic bitch. Is that
she
right?
She never called her a basic bitch. Again, it was Brynn just being,
I'm gonna embellish this and
I'm
make
gonna sleep
make
with your
something
husband.
out of nothing. But
I'm gonna
see,
sleep with your
I'm gonna
dad.
keep saying this. I think Brynn is very smart and she's trying to make things out of nothing because she's trying to make a storyline for the show.
Knows how to make a TV show.
She does.
She's the best out of them all.
I agree.
Second is Sai.
Totally.
Second is Sai.
Sai kind of turns me around this season, I have to say.
Well, Sai was on Watch What Happens Live with Jeff Lewis.
Yeah.
And I thought it was very, very ingenious of Watch What Happens Live to bring on Jeff Lewis and say that, I'm sure this is Jeff's real opinion. I'm not saying he's lying, but he says his favorite is New York. Now, these women, he was a naysayer in the beginning, but this is his favorite. He loves them. Him and Sai are great friends. If that's really what he thinks, then rock on Jeff Lewis. However, you're on some kind of fucking crack.
Yeah.
Because it sucks.
So I missed this. So Jeff Lewis said this current New York is his favorite.
He was all bullshit when it first came out. He was no way, it's not happening. And then this is now his favorite. These are his favorite women. They're all interesting and smart. They are interesting and smart.
Well, they are.
But what are they doing? Rebecca Minkoff? I was like, now she's finally interesting.
Well, that's what I thought too, because I was also
prank.
Impressed and reminded, she has a $100 million company. That's very impressive.
Oh, did she
but
say 100
you could be
million
a very
or a million?
successful. I thought she said 100 million.
Wait, I did think it was cool though. If we just say, I was like, all right, Rebecca's maybe now she's getting interesting because now she's, I think, is a swinger, pregnant by someone who's not her husband, and she's just done this Wicked collection. And I thought she said
was actually cool.
I thought she said she built $1 million business. She said 100 million.
100 million.
I'm glad
I heard
she
her say
said
$100 million company.
Because if it was $1 million, I was like, that's kind of pathetic.
No, she's a big deal.
She is a big
deal. You can be an extraordinarily successful businesswoman as she is and have no personality.
She's got Zippo.
So I think that maybe Erin, they're very good friends, right? Maybe she said, we got to drum it up for you. Now, she's only a friend of, so I'm not going to put too much pressure on her.
I agree. But
she's still not.
Oh, she's only a friend? Okay, that makes sense.
She's not a maid.
But you know what? Brynn is going to be the queen bee, is turning into the queen bee over there. And she couldn't hold back.
Brynn's trying to drum up a story.
She couldn't hold back like she's boring, because she is boring.
No, she is.
And if she lasts more than this season, I will be shocked.
I don't think so.
But that being a freaking prank again, how freaking stupid am I? I'm watching watching Watch What
I
Happens.
was bought in
Wait,
until
Kristen,
the end.
I'm watching Watch What Happens Live, and I'm going, what a prank? I'm like, damn, they must be repeating it from 2 weeks ago. This can't be. I missed it completely.
It's a prank.
And if I'm missing it, tell them I'm letting you know that there's a lot of other people that missed that was a prank too.
Okay.
So, all right, RHONY.
So I'm starting to regret that RHONY did a reboot.
We are not doing. We are not.
This was a
RHONY.
bad
We are
idea.
not. Just for this, we are not doing your
Can you bring
own.
Luann back, please?
We are not doing our own
bring
recap of you. We are moving
Sonia?
on to Teddi and
I'll
the
even
Twatsie.
take Ramona.
I
Just bring
don't know.
back some of the OGs.
That's asking a lot with freaking Ramona. What's going on with Teddi and the divorce?
All right. So last week, right, we didn't bring it up because I was talking to you before we started doing the podcast last week.
Freaking
and I was
Teddi.
saying, I'm seeing some rumblings on social media that Teddi might have had an affair, and that's why she's filing for
And
divorce.
we talked about it last week.
We have talked about it.
We talked about it.
Oh, we did. Okay. So now it has blown up. It is everywhere. So
I'm over it already.
all
It's been
right.
a week.
You know
These
what?
freaking idiots.
Okay.
I can't. Well, no.
So we
let's
got
talk about
two
it.
T's and a scandal.
Let's talk about it.
Two T's and a
Except
scandal.
I just can't stand Teddi.
I know.
I can't stand Teddi.
So many people
She
don't
is-
like her.
she-
They did not like her
You
as
know
a
what she
housewife.
is? You know what she is? When Kristen walked into my house tonight, I handed her my protein collagen that clumped up in my cold water. I said, Kristen, good luck.
What, did she
Do you
promote that?
want this? No. She is clumpy collagen in water. That's what she is. Unflavored collagen that doesn't melt in your water. That is what Teddi is to me. Blah.
Well,
Blah.
here's the backstory.
is
So what
the
is
truth.
what has she been married for about 10 years or so? They have 3 children.
To a weird dude, a Royave. Who the
he
heck?
always kind of gave me the creeps,
He
the
gives
husband.
me the
Ed,
total
I was going to say
creeps.
Eddie. It's Edwin. Edwin Arovi.
Edwin or Eduardo? I was going to call him Eduardo.
I know. I think it's Edwin.
Fucking Edwin.
He kind of
Get outta here,
He
Edwin.
gives me the creeps a little bit, but
He's weird looking.
he is.
But Teddi was always like, saw herself as like an overweight, fat person. She never like thought she was like.
And she
really
did a
worthy.
total transformation, and she had doesn't
She's
she
no-
have
there's
her
no
own fitness
transformation.
company? And
She's
okay.
got some company. I don't know, but she
Yeah.
might be the biggest twat of them all.
She
The
she's
twat seat.
definitely
She is the
in
big
the twat
twat.
seat now.
She's the big twat in the twat
She
seat.
is. So the background is that she does she rides horses. Her daughter Slate rides
We know,
horses.
we know.
And we've got this horse trainer who trains their horse. Their horse's name is Toad. I read about this.
Oh my
they have a
God,
horse named
stop.
Toad.
I can't.
And
I
what's the
cannot.
guy's
I
name? His name is
cannot.
Simon.
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 Simple
I think
Simon.
he is
the guy she was
from-
boffing.
Yes.
Oh, he's from another country.
He's from another country.
He'd have to be.
Yeah.
She's so boring.
So it seems, but this is a little scandalous because she was having an affair, and how it was found
Teddi.
out was that Simon's wife, who was pregnant
Which is so
at
gross.
the time, which is terrible.
Which is the grossest for him and
That's-
the grossest for her.
Yes.
As a woman who is has 3+ kids. Does she
Yeah.
have 4 kids?
She has, I think she has a stepdaughter and then 3 of her own.
You
So
know
4.
how vulnerable a woman is when she's having a baby
Yes.
and how much she needs her husband. Like, you know what, Teddi? That's just, I'm sorry. And listen, I've never had an affair, but if I was going to, I'd probably pick the guy who wasn't having a baby. Like, it's
They're
just so
having-
dirty and disgusting.
The worst
Like,
part,
ew,
the worst
Teddi.
part is that
Gross.
he went with Teddi to some horse event in Florida.
Of course he did.
while his wife was in California.
Was Teddi
having
the
a
horse?
baby.
That's
So
so gross.
he didn't go home.
He wasn't even
to
there
be home for, the
his
delivery.
child's birth.
Right. So the wife
What a
thought that was
pig.
suspicious.
What
And
an
I think
animal.
that when he came back, she looked in his phone.
Ugh.
She found some revealing information in his phone.
Ew.
She confronted the both of them.
Ew.
And then this was, I think, back in May.
This is
They
gross.
admitted it.
Gets grosser.
They admitted it, but then they promised they will stop. Well, P.S.
Really? Oh, that's
now
gonna help.
we're all the way up to now, and it looks like it hasn't stopped. And the
Gross.
wife found out that it didn't
Ew.
stop. Okay. And what I
much more?
heard is that Teddi, to get ahead of it, because the wife was gonna, or the wife
Do you have
did
some
tell.
evidence? Do you have some receipts in front of you about this?
I don't, but I have
you
read
have
a lot of
something. There is
articles.
some
I
receipt
got some
there.
other receipts I want to talk about in a second about Emily.
Emily.
But really quick, so I'll wrap this up by saying that it looks like Eddie, to get ahead of it, she didn't want Edwin to file. Edwin found out she didn't want Edwin to file for divorce first on the grounds of cheating. So she filed first.
Gross.
And then she immediately posted it on social media
Edwin?
so she could get ahead of it. And now she's saying Edwin in the past had cheated on her.
Oh, so two wrongs make
so
a right.
two wrongs make
Just
her
divorce
right.
him,
maybe?
Teddy. Your father's freaking John Cougar.
scandalous.
Mellencamp. Just go and be with Daddy and sing Small Town all day and just get yourself together.
Look,
listen,
she's got
Edwin,
a lot to unpack.
Edwin,
now.
I hope you leave her with Zilcho.
They had a prenup.
Oh, good. I'm so
They
glad.
did, and they're
Come on,
pursuing
she's
that
got
prenup.
money.
So
Come on. The whole thing
I don't
is
know
so
what's
gross.
going to happen.
Now I feel like I need to towel off. I'm having a hot
Well, you know
flash.
what my
Yep.
mind
I'm
went
having a
to?
hot flash
You're
from
having a
that
hot
whole-
flash. Oh,
from that
it's
whole
so
thing.
much to take in. You know what my mind went to with this too, real quick? I think Tamara's relieved because the heavy is off Tamara now. That's
heavy-
what I think.
Well,
Tamara's got the heavy on
she's
her
just gross.
with the Shannon and the horrible season that she
The two of
had.
them, the two
now
grossness.
the heavy's on Teddy because they got this very popular podcast.
Two T's go away. I hope. Although I hope the Bravo the Bravo verse is canceling you. Let's talk about Emily.
Okay,
from
let's
OC.
talk about Emily. We're going to go right into it.
We
So
gotta move on
it looks
because
like
we got a lot to
we
talk
got
about.
a lot to talk
Move
about.
it.
So I'm going to just say this. Emily, you know how she denied that Katie's daughter,
This is
Kylie,
Hilarious to me.
Kylie had said that
We know.
Emily's twin sons said that Heather's really mean to my mom, right?
And
And,
then
Emily
Heather-
said that never happened. My sons don't know
She denied
Heather.
it up, down, and sideways.
It never happened. My sons don't know Heather.
Got it.
Now,
Got it.
Katie gets a text from Emily's former nanny.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm going to read the text. I'll read it quick. Hi, Katie. First off, you are an amazing addition to the franchise. We need more women like you.
No, we don't.
Also,
Okay.
if you want to share this with your daughter so she knows she's not crazy, but I used to nanny Emily Simpson's kids, and they always talked about how they hated Heather.
Oh my God.
Annabelle would give me all the juicy gossip. Now,
Poor
Annabelle's
Heather.
the daughter, right?
Heather.
I feel a bit disgusted that Emily was pointing the finger at your daughter when she was kind enough to watch the boys, that they ain't easy. The boys ain't easy. But I just wanted you to know that Emily is totally lying. The kids do know Heather. They know what's going on. I don't like your daughter taking the blame for that on TV, especially from Heather. A little more note. I moved to North Carolina, so she's no longer their nanny. I've always been team Emily, but I feel so bad for Kylie. Disappointed on how Emily handled it. Her kiddos have full access to the stuff on there. Annabelle would always look
This is
her
killing me.
mom up on the internet, and I'd have to tell her to stay away from that. Yeah, I thought it was always cute that they knew what was going on. They're very protective over their mama.
Who
Like
writes this
what
long of a
Kylie
text?
said, I also thought it was funny and no big deal.
Who writes this long of a text? Who is this rando nanny?
So this
Anyway,
is their nanny.
I agree. Oh my God, that's long. But guess what, Emily?
She was lying.
What are you doing, Emily?
According to the nanny.
According to the nanny. Now, look, I don't know if I believe this rando nanny.
Okay.
However,
But I think Kylie, Katie's daughter, might not have been lying.
she was on TikTok making videos.
She
I
was.
mean, and she's like, I don't know. All I know is we're gonna recap OC in a little while. I don't like Katie. There's always a story. There's always a back alley. There's always something.
See, we'll talk about it later. I like Katie.
I don't know.
I'm team Katie.
I don't know about this whole Emily thing. I think it's she said, sitch.
I'm team Katie. Okay. So do we want to talk about the Golden Bachelorette?
Chock full of nuts.
Is Chock full of nuts? I don't know. Maybe not.
Chock's let his hair grow out. He looks so good.
Okay. So he looks
Chock.
better.
So yes, our girl Joan Vassos. Joan, how did we wait this long to get to Joan Vassos?
So
But
Chock
Joan,
is the winner, and they're buying an apartment in New York City.
they're looking, and I saw on her social media today. It said so many apartments to see, so little time. Actually, it was on Chock Chapel, his CC. Chock Chapel. It was on Chock. I'm following him now.
Okay.
So I'm
Oh,
like,
okay.
oh my God, Chock.
Okay, good for
So,
him.
yep, they're looking at apartments in New York City.
Very nice.
I thought it was a cute wrap up with the Golden Bachelorette. However, I I think these guys are going to have fun together, but they basically going to say he's keeping his place. He's still working. So he has this place in Kansas.
I was going to ask, is she
She's
still
got her
working?
place in,
Is she still working?
I'm not sure. If she has a job, it doesn't sound like
She
it's
sounds like
any,
she's a school
like
administrator.
it's any great job. I don't know, but she doesn't talk about it.
Okay.
But it definitely seems to me that like they're going to have that. They're going to have Maryland, and then they're going to have this place in New York together. They're going to jump all over. They're not going to be.
That's a good idea.
I think it's fabulous.
That'll
they can
work
be
for
home,
them.
and they're going to do their kind of,
They'll spend their time in Kansas. They'll spend their time in Maryland. They'll spend their time in New York City.
But it just shows you also in the
That sounds good.
in the Golden Bachelorette and the whole thing about it. How Chalk was basically just like showed all the clips of him being like, I'm just crazy about it.
That was so funny.
Crazy about. I'm really crazy
about you. I'm really crazy about you.
I don't know. I don't know though if he got wound up. I mean, when I look at Chalk and her together, like they're a nice looking couple.
They look nice together.
But she looks a lot older than he does.
You think?
I think they're the same age, but Joan to me just comes off a little bit older.
Okay.
She reads older.
All right. Do you think she's lying about her age?
I don't think so.
So she's really
I
61.
Love Joan. I really.
Oh
like
no, I
Joan.
love her too.
And I'm hoping that these two, if they do tie the knot, I would hope they wait a little bit longer so we don't have
don't do
a whole
Jerry.
Gary.
Is it Jerry or Gary?
Jerry. No, his name is Gary, but he said Jerry. I don't even understand.
Gary,
it was
Jerry,
spelled
and
Gary,
Teresa.
Jerry, something. But I hope it's not a Teresa Jerry situation
I
because that
agree.
was such a bummer because I loved that whole thing. I fell for it hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah.
And well,
Well, if you had to compare what was better, that Golden Bachelor or this Golden Bachelorette, what was the better
the Golden
one?
Bachelorette was better. She was
The
definitely
Golden Bachelorette was better?
She was more authentic.
Okay.
She was more.
That's why we love
She was
her.
more relatable. Jerry was crying every 5 seconds. Chalk is kind of hot compared to Jerry.
I agree.
But like now that you see
Jerry's
the
a
others,
little, he's a little funny
and like
looking.
Chalk is like a CEO of something. So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
all
For an insurance
kudos
company.
to the Chalkster.
Yeah.
So we've kind of beaten that over. I mean,
Okay.
you know, it's what it is. We're happy they're together. And let's see what the next is. I hope they
I'm
make them
happy
get
for
married in
them.
like January. Because last January I was sitting in my chair crying over Jerry and Teresa and their true love. True love. So we're happy for Joan and Chuck.
Yes.
I wish he would have changed his name to Chuck.
Yeah.
But either way, you're in New York. We'll come visit you.
Of
We'll
course.
come visit you in the city.
Come in the living room.
And finally, Dancing with the Stars. Dwight
so
Howard.
Was the big thing is Dwight Howard went bye-bye. It was the 500th episode.
500.
500th. And it was they did 2 dances each. One was a surprise dance?
It was basically iconic dances.
Okay,
they did, and they were all kind of dancing to those. And then it was the surprise with the mask on, pick the dance, and then go get changed on live TV.
Yes.
It was good. Joey was amazing.
Oh, he was good like always.
Dwight Howard
Him and
went
Chandler, I
home.
think, are the front runners.
They're setting Chandler up. She'll be the winner. They want her to win.
Okay.
They've given her the highest scores every week.
Yeah.
I don't
she
know
got
why.
she got 3 10s.
I don't know why they do that. But you know what? She's a Disney person, and ABC is Disney, and I swear to God, they always pick that like Disney little kid to win. I'm telling you, they do it all the time.
Okay.
So tonight we'll check it out. We'll see. But we're coming out of the end because I'm pretty sure it's going to end before Thanksgiving.
Oh.
If not, it's going to end.
So next week might be.
It's going to be. We're coming to the end.
Okay.
And by the way, we need to come to the end.
All right. Yeah.
I'm ready for
I'm
it.
done.
I'm ready for it. I'm ready
Even
for
though
the
I
end.
totally enjoyed this season.
No, it's been great. So, I mean, other than that, really,
That's it.
that was the
We
meat
had
of it.
We had some juicy stuff going on this
We
week.
did. It was a
including
lot to
meeting
talk about.
Teresa,
Tree.
which involved me.
Tree huggers. All right, so listen, we're going to wrap it up here.
Yes.
This is our little reality roundup. And stay tuned because we're going to be putting out some Real Housewives of OC, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So
And we got Beverly Hills starting this
Beverly
week.
Hills.
Cannot
oh my God,
wait
we're
to
excited.
cover that.
All right, the living room is on fire. It's hot. It's hot. The lights
Very
are
hot.
bright in here.
Yes.
All right, so with that, we're going to say bye-bye.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.